I'm gonna take a shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, how the devil are we all doing? It's the Twisted Nymph Groper, and welcome to this week's Top 5 Camp competition. We got a decent bunch lined up for you this week, so sit back, relax, and get ready for some aneurysms. Right then, to kick it off, in the number 5 spot, we have the legend himself. He's back from a long hiatus from 76. It's Stoleyasweetroll, everybody. Now then, for everyone who's not, aware of Stoleyasweetroll, this guy is an absolute master builder, let me tell you. And I will even go as far as saying that this guy probably invented a fair few of the camp building tricks that you use on your own builds. And come on, when you take a look at his hillside bungalow, it's not hard to see why, is it? This thing is a work of bloody art. And some of the techniques used to make it is just... I wouldn't even know where to bloody begin. We have underpinnings, we have some roof pieces doing funky shit, and I mean, come on guys, just take a look at that TV unit. And that's not it either. To top it all off, he even has a massive dick. I mean, sorry, an absolutely massive deck. Yeah, simply lovely. Now yes, obviously, the outside is rather quite striking, but the interior is just as well put together as the exterior, yeah. And it just goes to show, ladies and gentlemen, that you don't have to plaster your whole build with merges to make it, look half decent. Now, yes, obviously there is some merge glitches and a few tricky little bits to do, then floating counters, for example. But it's not absolutely plastered in it, is what I'm trying to say to you. It's actually quite a simple design, but it works really well. Sometimes less is more. Just ask my wife if you don't believe me. Ooh, that's a rather nice skylight you've got there, Sweetroll. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you've done that by layering roof pieces on top of each other. Like I say, I think I'm on the right track, but the way your mind works, I could be totally off it. All in all, mate, an absolutely stunning build. Really good job, pal, and it's nice to see you back in the community. Thank you very much for entering this week, buddy. I know how much time you put into this, and it really has come out bloody fantastic. Right then, guys, just before we get to number 4, I'd just like to make you all aware that Raker Wolf is your judge this week. Now, Raker helps out in a shed ton of discords across the community, so if you could go over to her channel, show her some love, I'm sure she'd really appreciate it. Back to the top 5. Coming in at number 4, we have Maca. Now, I apologise, mate, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name properly, so for the purposes of this video, you're now called Maca Lad. Is that alright? Yeah, of course it is. Now, our lad Maca has done something that you don't see many builders doing, and that is making a camp around one of the substations. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you hadn't guessed already, you can build around said substations, and they do give you power as well. Now, this build is a Brotherhood of Steel research facility, and from the outside, it does give you that kind of vibe, doesn't it? It's minimalistic, the materials used on it fit it down to the ground. Yeah, it's spot on in my opinion. Now, Reka told me she absolutely loved the interior of this build, especially with the meteor being held up by the power armor stands. And you know what? Yeah, that's actually really cool. We're going to bring up my favourite word, ingenuitive. Yes, that's what it is, 100%. I love how you've decorated the place as well, mate. It's very industrial looking, but also quite scrappy as well. And the way you've got those substation components actually inside of the build, yeah, that's top notch, that is, pal. Building around pre-existing structures can be a real kick in the penis, guys, but Maca, you have absolutely nailed this one, lad. Thank you very much for entering this week, and congratulations on making it into top 5. Hats off to you, mate. Now then, coming in at the number 3 spot, we have Epicface, yeah! With dumpster dustings, water treatment and bar. How very appetising. I can just taste the cholera from here. Anyway, if you like scrappy builds, this one's going to get you a little bit excited. Insert that's what she said joke here, please. Thank you. This build is properly junky, guys. I mean, just look at it. It's right in front of you. Everything from the Toxic Valley location to its overall design just screams, I've been built in the Wasteland. In my opinion, not that it matters much, when you mix and match materials like Epicface has done here, it does give that ramshackle kind of look. And it really is a simple way to give you an immersive build. Honestly, try it. Grab a couple of building materials, throw them all together, and you may be surprised what you come up with. The decor on this place, though, is where it really shines. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. It is harder to decorate a scruffy style build than it is a clean build. You have really got to go full force with the clutter, and Epic has absolutely killed it with this one. I know, that is clever. Look at that floating table with the power wires on it to make it look like it's been hoisted up. Oh, and it's a walkway to the door as well. Yeah, I really do like that. Fair play, mate, fair play. I absolutely love scrappy builds, and this one is by far one of the best I've ever seen, so thank you very much for entering Epicface, and congratulations on the number 3 spot. So are you liking the camp so far, guys? I reckon they're pretty solid, but I bet some of you are thinking, you know what? I could have got in the top 5 this week with my build. Well then, if you're feeling extra spicy, click on the description of this video, you'll see a link to my Discord, and you can submit your camp there. And who knows, you could be in next week's top 5. Anyhow, now it's time to see who's come in the number 2 spot. This week, it's Jawafour. I feel like I'm saying that wrong, but I know that it's right. Anyway, I digress. Now, this is what I like to see, guys. People using the prefabs effectively. You know, not just slapping it down, adding a little bit more to it. Even simple stuff like the railings used on this one really do transform it. Yes, I know it's only something small, but it just adds to it. I don't know. Speaking of adding to it, look how well the Raider Cage trees match into the prefab. You'd almost think they were part of a bundle, wouldn't you? What else is cool about this build is it's not just a prefab slap down either. There is, you know, a little scaffolding structure going down at the back as well, which, like the aforementioned trees, I think it fits in really well with the overall theme of the build. Now, just like Sweetroll's build, the decoration on it isn't anything too taxing. It's really simple, it's just been very well placed, and with it being such a tiny area, yeah, it looks really, really cluttered. And in my opinion, the more something looks like a pensioner's mantelpiece, the better it is. Again, another fantastic build. Thank you very much, Jawa, for entering this week, and congratulations on the bloody number 2 spot. Simply lovely. So we've hit the number 1 spot, and who do you think's got it this week? Well, unfortunately, guys, I'm gonna have to keep you waiting for just a little bit longer, because it's time for the honourable mention section. Yes, and this week we've got 2, actually. Now, the first one is from NenerAlabaster, and what a fantastic name that is. Jesus, it just rolls off the tongue. Anyway, this one was chosen by Raker Wolf, and what we've got here is a diner, which in itself is a very complicated thing to build these days. And I've just noticed some light boxes at the front, and that is, yeah, that is top notch. I like that. Where this build really shines though is the interior and the way that Nina's filmed it, and I think it's Pulp Fiction. Again, another film I've not watched, but yeah, we'll just gloss over that and say that it is, and it is actually a really funny video to watch. Some of the dialogue in it is spot on.
God damn, it's a pretty fucking good milkshake.
Told you.
Nina, thank you very much for entering, and this was definitely worthy of a special mention. Now, the second honourable mention is one that I've chose, and I know I shouldn't because I'm not judging this week, but I just couldn't leave it out. This is Radrux's robot, and my god, what... Wow, absolutely incredible. I mean, how do you even think of... How does the brain come up with that? Bloody remarkable. Now, yes, this is built in custom worlds, but let me ask you something. Even in custom worlds, how many of you could do this? I know I bloody well couldn't. Definitely a lot of effort gone into it, and the way it's filmed as well, again, absolutely spot on. Radrux, thank you very much for entering, mate, and congratulations on this honourable mention. You really did deserve it. Fantastic work. Right then, so back to the top 5, and the winner this week in number 1 spot is, drumroll please, Hitbit with this absolutely simply lovely castle build. This is next level. Not only has she used the portcullis, which, as I've said before, is an absolute bastard to work with, it's been built in water, and we've got some hexagonal, octagonal, dodecahedronal designs going on here. Now, I have said it before, guys, to get that shape of build, you need to use blueprints. So it isn't just a case of slapping down the foundations and praying to God. There is a lot of work involved, let me tell you, but the work's paid off here, and that central keep looks absolutely bloody brilliant. You can tell this thing has been properly well put together and properly thought out as well. Even the stuff you don't see immediately, like the lights merge glitched into the walls. It's them kind of things that really add character to a build. As for the interior, yep, it's very much like the outside. Very well put together, and it matches the castle theme absolutely perfectly. And the way you've got all your mates involved as well. This is what I love about the community. You can really meet some truly decent people in it. And I don't know, it just adds a little bit of life to a build. Hitbit, thank you very much for entering. This was absolutely top notch, and congratulations on the number 1 spot. Hats off to you, mate. Fucking mate. Anyhow, what did you lot think of this week's builds? Let me know down in the comments, and hit that like button while you're at it as well. Also, I'm running pretty low on TNG names as well, so if you could leave them down there, that'd be absolutely brilliant. Just like to say thank you to Raker again for judging this week. It is really appreciated. Anyhow, I love you and leave you, and I'll catch you next week.